Welcome back to our series of short videos where we deep dive the principles of mental availability, and today's case study is called Results Aren't Always as Expected. Now, you need to understand the extent to which your brand is easily recalled in buying situations. And one way to do that is to carry out a mental availability assessment. And this chart here gives you an example of the type of data that you will receive. So we're looking at a gym brand, and this is capturing all of the category entry point linkages for this brand. On the left-hand side, it's the actual scores, and on the right-hand side, it's the expected scores. So statistically, the scores that we would expect for a brand of that size. And you can start to see some variances. Now, these category entry points are the ones that are most recalled, is tagged as number 1, descending all the way down to number 17 here in pale orange. So our brand, which is one of the leading brands in gin, has a low number of linkages relative to its size on one of the most important category entry points. It also under indexes on category entry point 6 and category entry point 10. But it over indexes on some of these less important category entry points of 16 and 13, and possibly even 9 would be a concern. So we had to return this brand to growth, and one of our recommendations was to then review the amount of messaging and level of investment that was driving these scores higher than we really needed them to be, and then see how we could reallocate that investment and find new messaging that then starts to drive number 1 and number 6 much higher to get it closer to what we would expect. Now, we know from the work of Ehrenberg Bass that if we can increase the number of linkages, so increase the number here for number 1 and increase them for number 6, our mental market share should increase. And we know that if our mental market share increases, there should be a correlation with actual sales market share, assuming there are no other barriers to entry and physical availability as we would expect it to be. So we were able to predict for the client that by increasing their focus on 1 and 6 and reducing their investment on 13 and 16, that the brand would grow. Now, for more information on mental availability assessments, category entry points, or anything you've heard on this case study, then DM me or visit our website where you'll see that actually we've launched new training and would be able to take your teams through all of the principles of mental availability. Thanks a lot.